we're back, and I'm looking at this and saying, this doesn't look that bad. But this, that's hard to read. There is also a lot of, just noise of empty. Like we don't really have empty trees that much, and still we see a lot of empty. So I want to fix that, then go and implement like real stuff. But if we look at this, which is like the noisy part, this is just one item. Like it's a tree with only one value in it. In normal cases, I would not really know what to name this, so I would just take a name and go with it. But in Elm, there's a convention of calling a single item in a data structure a singleton. Let's go with that. It's really easy to just add it, and I'm gonna add first here because I think it's more trivial than insert. So test singleton returns a tree with only the value. And maybe if we had come further with this, I would then ask the tree to actually return the item. But I'm just gonna say that, okay, let's do a singleton one and this one. And now it runs the tests and it's broken, which is good. So we do singleton and it's k, it returns empty because we want it to break, and we sing. What's a typo? Okay, I can't type. That's good. Thank you, IntelliJ. Add type annotation. Thank you, and exposure to list, and I want this to be k. Okay. So now we can go back and ask it to import it. It doesn't seem. It's probably because I can't spell here either. Singleton. Now, yes, import, and we want to import it from this one. I also start saying now that this is gonna be as long as the exposing list, because we import it, and we're gonna change this to singleton as well. It's saying that it's wrong, which is we already knew. So I'm just gonna copy this one and boom. No? Yes? Ah, green. Yay! Okay, so I'm gonna just say implement singleton for KD Tree. And now we have a lot of places where we can say, this looks alike. So let's just say single. Okay, sounds good. We can go to where this is used, which is in the tests, and say, I guess this one is singleton one. We should actually let's commit this and do a clean up code with refactor. Simplify code with refactor. I wish it was automatic refactor, but it isn't, so let's leave it at that. And the reason why I want to commit this separately is because when you're doing refactoring of your tests, a lot of times you're using your code to test that your tests still test your code. So I don't want to mix those changes in the same commit when I do refactoring. If it's not a refactoring, the refactors the API, because then you need to change in the test as well. So that is also something interesting when you're then looking at the commit history, when you're doing reviews or debugging in the Git history to see did they change at the same time and why and how and all that stuff. But let's let's fix this one, and it's Singleton 1. So basically what we're saying is it's the same thing as inserting 1 into that one. And looking at this, we maybe want to or not want to refactor actually Singleton to use this definition. It's up to us. Here we have the Singleton 1 again. And we can see here that we actually have a lot of repetition, which could be extracted if that was what we wanted. Currently, I think this is good enough, but you never know. Sometimes because basically now when we do refactoring of the tasks, we treat the code as legacy code. Whatever it does is correct, which I don't know if you ever thought about legacy code that way, but that's definitely how I think about it. I don't know if that was the right thing to do. Let's feel about that. And what was this? Let's use the highlight here. Okay, it was Singleton 1. And it was mean to us, removed our parentheses, I don't know. I also see here that this is so big that we don't really see all the code. Is that because, okay, so it's barely there. This one was 4. Let's join that together. And it should also fit inside the same amount. So we reduce the code. We have a lot of empties, but at least I would say we got rid of half or 1/3 of the empties. So we're now much more talking about the code in its own domain. I'm also thinking about maybe I want to, definitely want to change this to 3, right? No, like that. Of maybe rephrasing these as insert operations, but since we're testing insert here, I don't want to have an issue where multiple invocation of insert messes up the code, and even worse, makes the result of the test less readable or less understandable. We're already doing some bad things here by using all without actually explaining the different steps. So if one of these failed and I didn't know why, what I definitely would do is split this test into 2 tests and explain one of them are for smaller and one of them are for larger, so that when I get the error on the CI server or whatever, I don't need to have the code in front of me to really understand what's happening. But anyway, so this was some refactoring. Use Singleton in tests to make code easier to read, hopefully. So there we have it. Next video, hopefully we'll get some more like actual logic. But for now, thank you.